What is up, guys? Rick Cactus here, and today we have a bunch of awesome brand new Anthem gameplay, courtesy of the EA Game Changers event that happened in Sweden last month. So thank you to EA for providing for my flights and accommodations. And guys, oh my goodness, there is so much awesome stuff we're going to be showcasing in this video. We've got Interceptor gameplay, we've got Colossus gameplay, we've got underground cave gameplay, we've got underwater gameplay, we have a fight with an Ursix, we have a fight with a Titan, a lesser Titan, but still a Titan. So much stuff happening here, and that's because this video is going to be showcasing Anthem's free play mode. It's the last thing we got to do at the Sweden event. The first two things, the first two videos, were missions, but this is free roam. This is different because this lets you do whatever you want. Free roam is similar to patrol mode within Destiny, where you can go out and explore the world. And in this world, there's a lot to do. There's resources, hidden chests, world events, and more. But one of the cool things about free roam in Anthem is that it's not just offering these things, it's offering these things with adjustable difficulties. And in the background gameplay, we cranked it up to hard. So it's actually going to be a pretty big difference between what you're seeing in this gameplay and the other two videos, which I believe were just on normal difficulty. Enemies are definitely tougher, they have a lot more health, so you have to really pound them with abilities, especially the bigger guys like the Titan and the Ursix. You'll see those guys take a lot of a beating, but they also throw out a lot more damage. They seem to be a little bit more numerous, and it really takes a different approach to fighting guys, to doing these world events in hard than lower difficulties like normal and easy. It's really exciting, especially because when you get to the max level, there's 3 totally new difficulties with Grandmaster 1, 2, and 3 that unlock, each one promising better loot drops. So let's showcase myself kind of getting my butt handed to me by this lesser Titan and talk about the Interceptor class. This is such a unique, exciting javelin to play within Anthem, and I was using the Storm for the other 2 gameplay videos, and that is a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but the Interceptor really lets you do things that other javelins just can't do. Mainly, it's got insane mobility. The Ranger and the Storm can dodge once, forward, left, right, backward, but the Interceptor can dodge 3 times in a row. Forward, 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 or forward, right, right, forward again. So you are capable of just double jumping or single jumping into the air and dodging and covering a tremendous distance. And you're going to see that a ton in the background gameplay. In fact, when I'm in a combat scenario, I am dodging more than I'm flying to get around fast, efficiently, and get behind cover really quickly. It's incredibly useful. But this increased mobility isn't just used defensively for getting into cover, it helps you use your skills offensively because a lot of them are focused towards melee. In fact, forget skills, just the base melee of the Interceptor is incredibly powerful. You're going to see me utilize it, especially when you go into this cave and there's a bunch of really hard enemies, but my melee is so powerful, it's frankly doing more damage output than my abilities. I am dodging, getting close to enemies, just spamming that melee, getting all that damage, and then dodging away to preserve my life, to preserve my health. It's a crazy different style of gameplay than the Colossus, which we'll talk about in just a sec. But not only is your melee super powerful, and you do have melee abilities, but I didn't. I had an acid bomb and then like a throwing star, but your ultimate also accentuates your role as a melee character. In fact, your ultimate is just unlimited melee, and by the way, you're invincible. Like, you basically just do, your normal melee does a little bit more damage than your normal melee, but you're invincible during this time, so you can go into the fray, you don't have to worry about anything, and go to town on a boss, on a bunch of enemies that spawned, and oh my goodness, it's very powerful. Not to mention the utility of becoming invincible. You don't have to attack any enemies, you can just go and revive your entire team as well. That's pretty useful too. But I also had the chance to play as the Colossus Javelin, and what better way to show it off than to fight a giant alien space bear, the Ursix. And yeah, It's a really fun class as well, super different. In fact, this is kind of a great video in which you can see one extreme and another extreme, with the most mobile class being the Interceptor and the least mobile class being the Colossus. The Colossus, you know, you're a little bit slower. You're not like going to be left behind if you're flying to an objective or anything like that, but you don't even have a dodge. In fact, your dodge is replaced by the ability to take out a shield and start absorbing damage. You also don't really have a shield, you just have a crap ton of health. And that makes things really interesting because the way to regenerate your health in Anthem is to get health pickups. So if you're playing the Colossus, you have to be playing aggressively, killing enemies and getting their health pickups to stay alive. Now thankfully you have a lot of health to stay alive, but still. With that being said, your Colossus skills can fill different roles. Right now, because I'm playing a little bit more aggressively, I'm using a flak cannon, basically another wrist-mounted shotgun. But I'm also using a firewall mortar, and you want to stay a little bit further back for that. Later on, I'll switch my flak cannon for a railgun, which is a pinpoint accurate shot. I can play a lot further back with that if I wanted to. The ultimate for the Colossus is just a ton of fun. You take out this gun that basically shoots nuclear bombs. It's amazing. But something else unique about the Colossus is that it's the only javelin that can wield unique gun types. Firstly, you get access to autocannons, essentially spin-up miniguns that are going to shoot faster and frankly out DPS your traditional assault rifle. You also have access to grenade launchers, which of course are going to be better at clearing out a group of ads and potentially DPSing a singleton ad than something like a DMR or a pistol or something like that. And that's a really neat way to make up for the Colossus's lack of mobility. If you can't run away, you gotta stand and fight. So you're gonna need weapons that are potentially more powerful than others. Now with that being said, you don't actually have to use those unique gun types. You can use a regular assault rifle and a DMR, or a sniper and a pistol, whatever you want. But wielding a minigun or a grenade launcher, walking around and causing havoc definitely makes your playtime with the Colossus unique. Now, let's talk about underwater gameplay within Anthem, because you can go underwater in a lot of different places within Freeplay. Well, firstly, you can't engage in any combat underwater. You can't even take out your weapons or use abilities while underwater. So unfortunately, you aren't going to be fighting any giant leviathans or anything like that. Hopefully, they add something like that in the future. Right now, when you go underwater in the game, it's basically for two different purposes. Number one, just exploration, trying to gather resources. Of course, certain rare resources will only spawn underwater, so you gotta go down there and find them, and also finding a hidden chest down there as well. Or the other reason, B, you're going underwater simply as a method of transportation to get somewhere else. There's potentially a ton of hidden caves and areas only accessible by going underwater first and then making your way to that hidden area. Now, I'd love to talk and show off more about Freeplay, but unfortunately this video can't be over a certain length, but I'm going to give you guys every second I can. Essentially though, Freeplay was a lot of fun. It felt a little bit more dynamic than a patrol mode in Destiny because of that difficulty change. The fact that you can make things a lot more difficult, a lot more challenging, and a lot more rewarding by upping that difficulty is going to make this kind of exploratory type content more viable in the endgame than it otherwise would be. Not to mention that the world of Anthem was impressively flushed out. We went down a cave expecting a simple world event. We found these massive complexes with huge sprawling fights. It was really impressive. Not to mention, Anthem doesn't just have cave.exe. There's great variety in what you can explore. One, as you can see, is a Shaper relic. The other is a Scar base, and they play very differently. There was also a decent amount of world events. Sometimes you had to go and free a bunch of sentinels and keep them alive. Fighting the Ursix was its own world event actually. Other world events actually led you down into caves to fight guys there, and that's how you completed them. So there was good variety there. And frankly, I can't wait to play more. Guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Anthem content, be sure to subscribe, and if you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. Guys, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a good day.